What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Mostly Gaming here, and today I want to talk to you about Hector. And as you guys might be able to realize from watching a lot of videos on YouTube about Rise of Kingdoms and the latest Commanders releases of Achilles and Hector, a lot of content creators are very split on how Hector should be used, whether or not he's good or not in general. And I think it was pretty clear what developers want to go with Hector. And I'm going to actually go ahead and share my opinion on Hector throughout this video. So stick around as I'll be sharing my personal opinion. And I think there is no really mistaking what Rise of Kingdoms developers wanted to do with Hector. So I don't know why there is a split on the community. Who knows? Let's just go ahead and talk about Hector. And I'm going to go ahead and skim through his kit because it's not really that important. You guys already watched so many videos about Hector. I made a video about him too, along with Achilles. So you guys can go ahead and watch those if you guys want me to go over in detail what they do. But active skill, Shepherd of his people. So he does 2600 damage factor on smite, 2800 damage factor on combo, and then 2700 damage factor on skill. And they do a little bit of buffs here and there. That would actually help out amplify that damage, but then again, overall 26 to 2800 damage factor depending on what kind of damage that you use. Single target though, so that kind of puts a limitation on what his potential capabilities are on the field, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but that's just how it looks like from his kit. Now his second skill will give him 20% march speed, which is nice, which actually makes him okay on the field, right? Viable on the field. If you don't have 20% march speed, it is very difficult for you to actually use yourself as an open field commander. 20%, pretty good. And it also gives 10% health, 30% defense. Very good stats overall. So yeah, good stats overall. Third skill, this troop takes 10% less normal damage, which is really crucial in any scenarios. However you want to use them, 10% less normal damage nowadays is really, really good. When attacking a troop on the map, one of the following effects will trigger based on their talents on the commander. If you have smite, you have 50% chance to have the smite damage increase with cooldown of 10 seconds. Whenever your troop launches a basic attack with cavalry, you have 20% chance to launch an extra combo attack. This is actually really good. 20% can be moved up to 40% if you have butterfly effect. Damage factor is a little low, but it's okay. But it can trigger 3 times, up to 3 times per second. So if you're getting really, really lucky, this could actually be 1200 damage factor, but it has to go through 40% 3 times. So that is what? 16, that is like 6.4% chance. So unlikely, but it's good that we have a combo damage that is instant proc, which has 10-second cooldown. I think this is really good. And then otherwise, you inflict the debuff that makes debuff on the enemy troop. It takes 5% less damage for the 10 seconds. It can stack up to 2 times. So yeah, you can take less damage when you're using skill damage, using him as a skill damage commander. Not really important. Skill damage, no one's going to use him as a skill damage in my opinion, so let's just go ahead and skip through that. And his fourth skill, if this commander troop is attacking a troop on the map, if your commander, if you're using him as an infantry or cavalry, every second you have 50% chance to get 20% bonus to normal damage, which is nice. For 5 seconds, and then has cooldown of 7 seconds, and then otherwise you have 50% chance to buff up yourself for 30% skill damage. Again, skill damage is really, really mid. I don't think so. Spoiler alert, I don't think you should use him as a skill damage commander whatsoever. But whatever he has for infantry and cavalry is nice. This buff is really, really good. So yeah. That I think he is a really good infantry or cavalry secondary for whatever you're using him as. And then expertise, if this commander unit contains only 1 unit type, you do 10% more damage. If it has more than 2 unit types, you take 10% less of smite, combo, or skill damage. Not normal damage, but smite, skill, combo. Basically from active skills. So that's basically his kit. Very simple. And here's where I think his uses are supposed to be. Hector, I think, was originally designed as a pairing for cavalry garrison, combo cavalry garrison release that is going to be upcoming within the next month or so, right? If you don't have Hector, you will not be able to utilize the next combo garrison because we currently don't really have a good pairing for a combo garrison at this moment in the game. Maybe the closest that you can get to it is potentially Attila. But that's what this commander is meant to be, right? So this commander is a garrison commander, designed to be a garrison commander. Although he has versatility support tree, leadership versatility support tree, I think it is very clear that this commander was designed as a garrison commander pairing for cavalry, next cavalry garrison release, in my opinion. Now, with that said, what does he how can we use him upon release of Hector? Now, Hector, because he has so many stuff that is related to smite damage, he's currently, if he's released today in Rise of Kingdoms, he can actually be a good pairing for either Gorgo or Tokugawa. If you use him as a pairing for Gorgo, I think it would probably be able to perform a lot better against Shapur Ashurbanipal Rally than Gorgo Toku, in my opinion, because Shapur Ashurbanipal does shield mechanics counter, whereas Hector just does pure damage, and Gorgo does not have that much of a shielding with her kit. So if you use Gorgo Hector, you have a potential to be able to actually outperform Shapur Ashurbanipal, in my opinion, as a garrison lead. So you actually add another kind of mix to your Gorgo Tokugawa previous infantry garrison to Gorgo Hector now. So I think that's how you can use him if he was released today. You can also use Tokugawa as primary and then Hector as secondary, and that would, I think, destroy any cavalry rally that is available for you in the game right now. Especially, namely, Attila Subutai. That's the only cavalry rally that is actually possible at this point. So yeah, if Attila Subutai is going against Hector, you're going to get destroyed if Hector is paired up with Tokugawa, in my opinion. So right now, I think the primary use of Hector upon release, without the next cavalry release commander cycle coming yet into the game, Hector's main use will be the Smite Garrison Commander, in my opinion. Now, what Hector also does, though, is that Hector also opens up to a new horizon of cavalry garrison, which is going to be Attila Hector. Now, Attila Hector will be the first, I would say, delta or combo garrison that you'll be able to make in Rise of Kingdoms. So if you have Attila, if you have Delta formation or Arch formation already built and you have been rallying with Arch or Delta like myself on my main account, you guys have seen me just do Attila Subutai only because I moved all my armaments into cavalry Delta formation at this moment, and before that I was actually using Arch formation for my cavalry, right? If you're one of those people that are just rallying with Attila Subutai and was unable to perform as well as you used to do with Eleanor Hera just because you move all your armaments, guess what? Good news. You have Attila Hector as your... Oh, my apologies there. Yeah, you have Attila Hector as your next cavalry Arch/Delta formation garrison. I think Arch will perform probably slightly better given that you're using Attila Hector, but we probably will have to see how they do on the field. But yes, that adds another option of cavalry garrison in the game. And also at the same time, when the new cavalry garrison, I'm assuming it's going to be combo garrison, so when the new cavalry combo garrison drops in November or December, then I think Hector will be able to shine once again as a secondary commander to that new cavalry combo garrison, in my opinion. So So for those of you who are thinking that Hector is mid or bad, I think you guys are thinking him as an open field commander. But in 2025, his damage factor is okay. But then again, as a single target, non-AoE commander, basically. Non-AoE field commander, I don't think this is a really good idea for you to actually use him as an open field commander, in my opinion. The only way that I think that could work is that if you didn't get Achilles because you wanted to wait for the next cavalry release cycle, but you got Hector because you're a garrison lead, then you can technically pair him up with Arthur. But outside of that, I don't think he doesn't really add more value than whatever he has, whatever we have already in today's open field meta. You know, like if you're infantry main, you could just use William Wallace on in this place, and it's basically doing the same thing, right? But if you're using cavalry, if you don't want to get Achilles and you want to wait until you actually invest in another commander until the next cavalry release comes, that's fine. You can actually use Arthur with Hector, but it's not going to perform as well as Achilles would, because it's a double AoE that was going to do really, really well on the field, not necessarily a single AoE commander at the end of the day. Single AoE and then single target damage commander pairing at the end of the day. So, yeah. So for those of you who are thinking that he's going to be mid or bad, I think you guys are thinking him only in perspective of open field. But I think this commander was originally designed as a garrison pairing for cavalry, as well as potentially infantry, if you're using pincer. And that's it. So for those of you who are not garrison leaders, I would say getting Hector might not be a worthy investment, especially with the new cavalry commander right around the corner. Just save your gold heads. If you're not garrison, you just don't get Hector too much invested. It's my opinion. If you are garrison lead, though, I would say Hector is a must, especially cavalry garrisons, guys. You guys need to get Hector because next cavalry release will have combo garrison commander for cavalry. And if you don't have Hector there, then I think you will perform exceptional, and you will not perform as well as other garrisons who have Hector paired up with the new cavalry commander, garrison commander at the end of the day, in my opinion. So yeah, so that was basically my quick opinion on what Hector is designed for by Lilith. I hope you guys actually enjoyed today's video. But what do you guys think? Do you guys agree with me? Do you guys disagree with me? Just let me know in the comment down below. I would love to discuss what you guys are thinking. At the end of the day, we'll all have to see how he does and what he's supposed to do on the field or on the garrison at the end of the day. But that's just how I felt this commander was kind of like intended. And it was pretty clear to me, but I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. And I was wrong on Tokugawa before, I must admit. So, I'm not right all the time. I was right about Qin Shi Huang, 100%. But I was wrong on Tokugawa just because I thought Hera's extra damage reduction would actually be just better than Tokugawa. But it turns out Tokugawa was super, super OP. So, I don't know. I could be wrong. Please share what you guys think. And if you guys haven't already done so, please go ahead and drop me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel because I'll be putting my opinions like this all the time in the channel. So anyways, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And as always, I'll see you all in the next video. All right. Peace.